Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So we just had the pleasure to host a very good event organized by Florence School of Regulation in cooperation with Environmental Defence Fund regarding the impact of the EU methane strategy on the natural gas market. And we have a great pleasure to have with us today Manfredi Caltagirone from UN Environment Programme. So welcome, Manfredi.
Thank you, Maria. I'm glad to be here.
And just to briefly present Manfredi, he's a program management officer at UN Environment Programme, and he's been working there for 9 years already. But he has also experience, and he used to work at Harvard Kennedy School of Government, and he started his professional career at the Italian Ministry for the Environment. Manfredi, what is OGMP 2.0?
So the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership 2.0 is the second version of the reporting framework under the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership. That is a voluntary initiative to promote transparency on methane emissions in the oil and gas sector that was launched in 2014 at the SG Climate Summit in New York in the framework of the Climate and Cleaner Coalition in collaboration, as a collaboration between initially the US government, the Norwegian government, and 10 upstream oil and gas companies. And that over the last 18 months, we have redesigned with our current partners that are the Environmental Defence Fund, the European Commissions, and the companies that were part of the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership first version. We have just launched the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership 2.0 on Monday, November 23rd. So the partnership is an alliance, is a partnership between, again, these public sector actors, including civil society, and an impressive 62 companies that have decided to join the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership, that are coming from across the value chain. There are up, mid, and downstream companies, and they have committed to quite some, important steps in terms of monitoring and reporting of their emissions. We have agreed on 5 reporting methodologies that they, starting from the companies report a number and we trust it, to the gold standard of reporting. That is a suitable combination of the last 2 methodologies, so level 4 and 5, that requires company to perform bottom-up measurements for each of their assets, and then to reconcile the emissions that they have identified through top-down measurements. So either satellites, eventually planes, drones, or other methodologies. And this will give us the ability to access data on an unprecedented level of granularity, because companies will be reporting emissions for all operated and non-operated assets, following these 5 methodological approaches. And this will also ensure that there is an unprecedented level of accuracy in the data they will be providing.
Thank you very much. And so the second acronym that we heard about during the workshop was IMEO. Could you also elaborate on that?
Yes, so the IMEO stands for International Methane Emissions Observatory. That is an observatory that UNEP, in collaboration with the European Commissions, the Climate and Cleaner Coalition, and a number of other partners, including the International Energy Agency, the Environmental Defence Fund, and critically, the companies who are partners of the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership, will be developing as a UN observatory to integrate, corroborate data that are coming from a variety of sources, including the confidential company data through the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership 2.0, but satellite data, measurement data based on field campaigns that the observatory will be initiating and coordinating, and the national inventory. So we hope to create a center, a nucleus that is going to be able to provide accurate, unbiased, independent information on methane emissions that can then be used by governments, by companies, and by civil society to better address methane emission in the different jurisdictions across the globe.
So my next question, as we are slowly approaching the Christmas period, is what will be the priorities in terms of these both initiatives for the next year?
The priorities are for the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership and the IMEO in 2021 are certainly linked, but they are different. For the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership, I see two main priorities. One is the conclusion of those technical guidance documents and that are detailing what the companies have committed to do under the framework. So, for example, we're working on defining the concept of uncertainty and reconciliation, defining how many assets company need to measure to be able to have a statistically relevant wealth of data that can for example, characterize their distribution of methane emissions across their assets. And companies will be starting reporting according to the OGMP 2.0 framework in May of 2021. So this is indeed something that we need to conclude soon. So to give guidance to them, and this is a process that we are co-leading with the companies, with representative from the European Commission, and with representative of the Environmental Defense Fund as the major NGO engaged on the OGMP. The second priority for the OGMP is the recruitment of new companies. So to increase the participation of companies in the partnership. I would say especially and hopefully beyond Europe. Most of the companies that have joined the OGMP, while they have assets operated and non-operated in the 5 continents, they are mainly European-based companies, and we feel that it is important to also increase, to also include and promote the participation of companies beyond those sitting legally in Europe. On the International Methane Emissions Observatory, the priority is going to be really the setting up of the infrastructure that will allow the observatory to perform all these scientific functions that we are assigning to it. And so on the one hand, the analysis of the company reports that will be submitted under the OGMP, the integration of those data with other sources of data, as mentioned, the satellite, the field measurement studies, and national inventories, and to start identifying, patterns, gap in the knowledge that we can further study, again, utilizing all the varieties of tools that technology puts at our disposal at the moment. So quite an exciting time for both the OGMP and the observatory.
And if there is a company that is interested to join the initiative, what should they do in order to obtain the membership? So
the companies can participate in the Oil and Gas Methane Partnership. The International Methane Emissions Observatory is a government entity. Is not going to be accepting participation per se, if not in an advisory role by industry. But for the OGMP, the easiest way is to send me an email and express this interest. That be simple. There is companies need to endorse the reporting framework by signing a memorandum of understanding with UNEP, and immediately after they are considered part of the partnership.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So, Manfredi, thank you very much for your time and for sharing with us all the information and insights. We definitely invite companies to take a look at the webpage and in order to see whether this type of initiative is of their interest, as the topic of methane emissions is getting more and more important. Again, thank you very much.